Good afternoon. I'm going to talk to you today about student diversity factors that most likely promote inequality when trying to close the gap of digital divide. One of the main concerns of closing the gap of digital divide is access. Students having access to computers at home or even at school. Access must be convenient and affordable. Access may take place in a school, a library, after school care, or even in the home. Those that work with technology must have the skill and understanding on how to apply it well. If the user, whether it's the teacher or the student or even a parent or administrator, really does not have the knowledge or understanding on how to use technology, the learner really does not get the full effect of what the internet has to offer. Houses with internet is a big concern as to having access. These are gaps that create a digital divide. According to research, between December 1998 and August 2000, the gap in the internet access between black households and the national average grew from 15% to 18%. For Hispanic households, the gap grew from 14% to 18%. About a third of the U.S. population uses internet at home. Only 18.9% of blacks and 16.1% of Hispanics do so. Home access is important for students doing research, completing online assignments, and communicating with teachers and other learners. For parents, online access can be a way of how they get in contact with their school. A lot of schools are relaying the messages through internet, and also that is how some parents can get in contact with other teachers and other parents. Those students without the home internet rely on schools, libraries, and other public places to provide access. Research shows that households with income below $40,000, students are more likely to have access at school. That is about 31% have internet access at home versus 56% at school. Research also shows that classroom access is still greater for the wealthy. Wealthy school classroom access almost doubles that of poor schools. Per computer access is no better. Studies show that 60% Americans of all ages with a disability have never used a personal computer. 25% Americans of all ages without a disability have never used a personal computer. Now, these are some of the things of what schools can do and what some of the measures that have been done and are still in the work in progress. Technology has the potential to improve the life changes of students who are at risk, or the lack of technology can continue to widen the gap between students considered at risk and those considered privileged. Schools can provide more access for our users. This decision comes from our state officials with funding, and then later is dispersed to our district. The district is able then to disperse funds to the schools. What works in the favor of our schools with a greater need of assistance, they will be given more funds to help with language arts and math. Those schools are considered our Title I schools. Title I schools are a target population of students who sometimes have more than 75% of students on free and reduced lunch. In web-based environments, the learner can be provided support and challenge through multiple means. There should be multiple opportunities for our users who are disabled to use computers in school too. Multiple means of representation in both text and graphic models, animated science simulations, poetry read alouds by the author. There should be multiple means of expression for the learner with the use of text, sounds, and graphics, images, video, and combinations of media for expressive literacy through writing, illustrating, speaking, video making, and drawing. There should be multiple means of engagement to attract the easily bored students or easily distracted learners. Administrators could provide that school scheduling is done to ensure that internet is being used by the entire school body. Wolf suggested using classroom management to encourage equitable technology use by all students. Students should be able to take turns using the computer daily. Educators can pair students to work together. There can also be a sign-up sheet for scheduled free time on the computers. For those students who do not have access of computers at home, there should be some type of way where technology is made an ordinary part of the classroom and school environment. Research states that the goal is familiarity will lead to increased usage. Technology could be a way to help students identified as at-risk students. Hopkins stated that technology is a tool for individualized learning, group interaction, managing, coordinating learning, expression, and knowledge production. More suggestions could be continue to build the school computer labs, seek software that meets the needs and special interests of our learners, encourage students to use technology during their own time and for their own purposes, encourage students to attend technology camps if they're available, blend technologies into the daily routines to promote learner-centered environments, offer evening classes to involve parents and other community members. Well, I hope this has helped us as educators to find out what is widening our gap of the digital divide and some resources and solutions and maybe even some suggestions on how to close this digital divide. Technology is not going anywhere, and it's just advancing as time goes on. And those students that still do not have access at home are still suffering in our classrooms. As educators, we have to touch those students and reach those students to make sure that they're getting just as much opportunities as our students that have access at home. I thank you for listening, and I appreciate you for watching.